We're going to start off with Jean Gruss. Sean, this is a piece that's coming out of the Miami Herald. I'm going to read you the headlines. I'll read you the first few graphs. Then I'm going to ask you to sort of provide your take on it. So here we go. Headline: flood insurance costs soar in South Florida. New rates will double, even triple for many. That's the head. Here's the first couple graphs. Brace for a few years of flood insurance rate hikes, South Florida, and they're going to be steep, doubling, even tripling for thousands of homeowners. FEMA has changed the way it calculates flood insurance prices. Instead of relying on old flood zone maps covering broad areas, it's now basing premium prices on more factors such as properties distant from the ocean, rainfall levels, and the cost to rebuild a home. Last month, for the first time, FEMA shared estimates for what that will mean for the average flood insurance premium by zip code. For the worst hit zip codes in South Florida, which is 33469, a coastal Palm Beach County stretch that covers parts of Jupiter and Tequesta, that'll mean a 342% price increase on average. In most expensive zip codes for flood insurance in South Florida, 33149, which covers Key Biscayne, average premiums will rise north of $7,000 a year. Some important qualifiers: the premium hikes won't hit all at once for existing policyholders, and not everyone will see an increase. FEMA estimates that about 20% of Florida policyholders will actually see their premiums drop under the new pricing regime known as Risk Rating 2.0. John, what do you make of that? We have a bunch of newbies who came down to South Florida during the pandemic. They were all fleeing the high taxes in New York, and it was going to be much cheaper to live down here. Lo and behold, they buy themselves a piece of dirt. They buy themselves a house. Now they might be looking at insurance costs that might actually push out what they were paying in taxes in New York. So what say you, John?
Yeah, well, I mean, FEMA has been revising its maps for several years now, and they've warned us that this was coming. And indeed, if you buy a house today, your flood insurance premium is probably going to be a whole lot more than what the previous owner paid. And it's not just residential properties, but commercial properties as well. So if you own a business, if you have a building that's in a flood zone, I mean, be prepared to pay significantly higher premiums. I mean, that being said, for years, flood insurance premiums were basically subsidized by the federal government, and you didn't have to pay a whole lot for flood insurance. And of course, we've had all kinds of storms. Florida properties have increased in value significantly, and claims have gone up. So it makes sense that those rates are going up. Except the problem now is, we've waited so long to readjust all those rates that they're going to be massive, especially for people who are buying properties. I know existing property owners will see those rates gradually rise over time. But if you're going to buy a new house, you're going to pay substantially more than the previous owner. So yeah, it's going to have an effect on real estate sales. It could make homes more unaffordable than they even are now. And yeah, and don't forget about the commercial property owners.
That's a great point, Sean. Just anecdotally, I told this story a few episodes ago. A friend I know had a duplex in Coconut Grove, which is it's a desirable location in the Miami area, a duplex, which is 2 units, and he was paying $12,000 a year, or effectively $500 per unit per month. Lo and behold, because of the insurance increase, he now went to $60,000 from $12,000. So what he tried to do is sell the property, dump it off to somebody else. He's got a lot of value so-called value because of the appreciation. All offers that came in, once the due diligence were done, they realized how much the insurance was, and they negotiated them down on what they were willing to pay him, because now they got to make up for the insurance. So anybody who's very proud of the fact that their valuation has gone up, well, there are some drawbacks to that, including rebuilding costs, which is what the story sort of alludes to. So that was a great take on it, Sean.